what brought my attention to the stock and why I wanted to swing trade the stock, all right? So once this gap down had its initial little run back up, I was watching for a bounce right around the 15 level, all right? If you look back at its history, you can see that in this vicinity here, after it broke the first time, this is a pretty safe area for this to bounce, and I looked for a reversal pattern on this, all right? So if you can see, once this actually broke 1559, to me, after it broke, held its new support, bounced off support, and broke to the upside, I felt that this could start gapping, all right? And I know of at least 10 people that got this play, and I ain't gonna lie to you, it moved up faster than I thought it would. If I would have thought to jump over to the S&P 500 real quick, all right? Every live stream and every watch every morning, we showed you guys many times that this thing was nearing heavy resistance up here. We're at all-time high. We haven't had any market correction for a while. So this is no surprise to me whatsoever that this thing gapped down. I personally don't think it's going to last a whole long time. I think that we're going to bounce at one of these levels. We're going to have, all right? AMC was a buy right here, right? AMC was a buy right here. 52-week low at the end of the year. It sat there this whole time and nobody wanted it, but now everybody wants it up here. See what I mean? Like, this just does not scream buy to me. I'm not saying it can't go up. I'll show you guys what I'm looking at for all the new people in this room, because this is the clearest chart that you can possibly get, all right? So not only is this thing sitting beautifully at trendline support, this thing has a history of parabolic moves, all right? So we were right here at 270, okay? We bought it at trendline support, and I'm going to show you another chart with it. You'll see all of these renewable energy sectors and all these things, especially with the Biden and the blue sweep and the new administration coming in. It was a high conviction as well that this is at support, history of parabolic moves, green energy running, that this, no doubt in my mind, this was going to break out. So if you bought it at 270 with us, you potentially could have sold it at 730 just within 14 days. So this was a really high conviction, easy swing trade, all right? So if you were to jump back on this again, I wouldn't try to buy this thing until it bounced right here at 387. I would say this bounces at 387 right here. And I think this company can push higher. You guys seen what Pola just did from 450 for us. This thing was a massive move. Same chart though. Trendline support, rejected every time. And as soon as it broke these levels though, these things really can move. So $450 to $30 in 7 days. And you can see the levels from its history, right? It had one level to break here. This is what was holding this the whole time. It tried to push here, tried here, tried here. It could never break this level right here throughout all of its history, right? Since it fell, it never could break this level. As soon as this level broke, it gapped this, broke this one, and then it just completely went parabolic, along with most of that sector. So these plays, to me, aren't the same as like pump and dump penny plays, because this company has like 20 contracts with the military and all sorts of stuff. Pola Power is a really good company, man, and I know people played it back here on these pump and dump days, and unfortunately a lot of cheap stocks have to go through these periods where they're so cheap that people can manipulate them. But when you buy at levels like this, it's very safe, man. All you got to do is buy at trendline support, wait for this swing, sell into resistance, hold your free shares or a percentage of your shares. If it gets rejected, then simply set a stop loss underneath of this and stop out on the way down. Wait to buy back in on the next swing. And then overall, you want to keep your stop loss under that trend line support. If it loses this and falls to the downside, take a minimal loss on it and move on. Let me show you. This was another one. This is a long-term growth stock for me, and I'm gonna tell you guys right now, I love this company. The next time this falls, I'm getting everyone back in this. Okay, this company has a lot of growth. So we bought Rackspace right here at $18. All right, and I like this level for this. I don't think it's going to lose this level. This was early on in it, and companies during their first few months, you know, they're volatile. You look at Lemonade, any company that's within the first couple months, you see a lot of volatility on these things, man, before they like to run up, right? But Rackspace just pumped and broke all-time high. So two ways to play this. The breakout of the downtrend, where we jumped in, the break of 2119, okay, based off of this little level right here. This could just be a gap to fill this area here, or the break of 2276 for a really short swing that jumped to 25. Depends on your account size or how much you can double down on this. Long term, if this comes anywhere in this area, I say this is a $50 stock before year's end, or within 14 months. So anytime that I can get this again, and I got a bunch of free shares of it now, I'm absolutely buying back into this company. Just keep that in mind. That's the same with this, and everyone knows that I'm buying back in this. I tried to catch it right at 12 the other day on Friday. So DTIL, I think that this level is going to hold for it, all right? This is where it broke out at. It gapped all the way up. It actually gapped all the way to 20 after hours, but then it sold off. It lost its support here, but it found its support at this first break right here. So this is very important level. This right here to this right here. If this can find and hold this support level here, we're absolutely going to start ticking and pushing to the upside. I compare this company to like PacBio that Kathy Woods is in. It's a very unique sector in regards to gene editing. A lot of these companies that are in gene editing are going to specialize in certain disease. So let's just say, for example, DTIL does Down syndrome, or one of those other companies, Gene, or things like that, will do whatever genomic disease that they have. Each company is going to specialize just on focusing on that primary disease. And then that's why these companies are going to blow up in the future, man, because right now they're working on sickle cell anemia and hemophilia. So if we can get through those two things right there, these things got massive upside. So I would love to dip buy this thing. It already made its run. Great trend line support. Really good break at these two levels and a gap up. And I know about 30 people that got in on this play with me, so I'm glad that you guys have some free shares for the long term. If you really want to know the style of Dale, okay, this is what I do, and I can't explain it any better than this, all right? I find companies that I believe in, right? I do 4 to 8 hours every single day of researching tickers and figuring out how they're going to benefit and move in the future, right? And I find some that I really strongly believe in, and I try to find support levels. I swing trade these for free shares to hold for the long run, okay? I use a percentage of my profit in equity swings, and I use my profit to buy more volatile options plays that I feel that have a high percentage chance to win as well. But I like to use profits for my option swings, and I like to get free shares based off of my equity swings to hold these things long term, right? And some of these companies have great opportunity too. I mean, how many people own Fuel Cell all year long under $2, right? I know we had it in this room. Nobody wanted this under $2 all year long, but now people are buying $30 calls on it. See what I mean? So be in before this move happens if you believe in it. So this is the key, and this is the most important part about all of this, all right? After this thing made a run like that, reached this all-time high, consolidated this entire area where it's very volatile. You can see, look at this, all right? So Tesla, I want to show you something real quick. Tesla went from 500 to 328 just in 831 to 98, okay? So in essentially 8 to 10 days, this thing went from 500 to 328, right? It's a huge move because this is massive consolidation. So I'm going to tell you what every single person does who likes to buy options. They're trying to dip buy calls on this thing for a bounce as it's falling. They don't never let it settle. So now what do you have? You have a massive implied volatility factored into these options now because of this huge move right here. You're paying top premium for this thing, and you're guessing when it's going to bounce. So you know when the buy is. Support, 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 support. Look at the moves at the end of this, okay? $150 move. This was 411 to 406, okay? You're talking about $5 move and a $200 move. This is very, very, very clear consolidation. And it's no coincidence that when this thing finally broke this downtrend right here at 446, this was a stone cold super buy right here. Easy play, okay? This thing ran from 447 to, you guys seen it, $900, all right? You could have bought calls on this, you could have bought equities on this thing, anything right here at this break. But the key was you can do it two ways. Buy at support, swing trade into resistance here, not in the consolidation phase, but any one of these right here, or you could have literally just played this break right here and gapped up with it, right? Those are the two plays on that. There's no other play on that. If you're buying anywhere in this range, you could buy it here and it could go up as it did right here, but it's a complete guess, right? You're completely guessing if you're just buying anywhere in this mid-range. It could go up on you and you could get lucky. It also could go down really quick. You all know what options on Tesla does when it goes down quick, right? You're gonna lose significantly. So wait for these patterns because they're there and they're too easy to identify, all right? Palantir, same exact thing. Microsoft, same exact thing, okay? Amazon, same exact thing, okay? Massive move, consolidation, support, 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 swing trade. Look at the volatility over here compared to over here, right? It does this, every single one of these do the same thing. And when you get into these that are at the end of this, this is how you hit the home runs, man, all right? So consolidation, support, 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 and to even add fuel to the fire, it had extreme consolidation right here. Also had a gap to the downside, right? So if it lost this, it was coming back to this level here, right? But look how consolidated that is. Isn't this very apparent for everyone? Look how choppy this is right here. Look how it's barely even moving right here. It is no coincidence that when this thing broke right here, you might as well turn this thing into a rocket. It doesn't look like a rocket. But that's the pattern you want to look for, man. That is the best breakout pattern that I use, and it's so clear and easy to see, man. And if you're buying in a consolidation area, you're guessing more than you are, and you're overpaying for your premiums, all right? Before we take off out of here, all right, guys? This company, I'm telling you right now, is going to go to 530 to 580 and potentially gap up towards $9. All right, I've seen this pattern so many times in my past to where this thing has a huge run up. You got a ton of buyers in here. You got a lot of people that get trapped in this area right here. You got a lot of shorts in on this thing. It holds its support line right here, right? Very, very, very clear trend line support. Each time it finds its support, it likes to pop higher, pop higher. This thing is gonna bounce off this area. It could go even a little lower, but it's gonna start trending sideways again, and another one of these are gonna come. And if even at this small move right here is a double, it could potentially even break these and gap to the other side. This thing has about 5 catalysts coming this year on this stock. We got it right in here and ran it to this. We sold up and kept, set a stop on it. We stopped out at like 440, I think. But I'm buying it back again over here for sure. This company makes, HPV virus vaccines, and they have about 4 other in stage 2 and stage 3 of clinical trials now. But just the revenue alone off their HPV virus that affects 1 in 3 human beings in the United States is significant. And they're not going to be in penny land for long. And every time this thing gets news about that drug, this thing likes to shoot up like that. And this thing is highly shorted. So this thing likes to really pop when it does. All right? Keep this in mind. If I'm going to buy it here for a starter, if it comes down to this lower level, like 285, I'm just going to buy more of it. I'm not worried about this thing tanking all the way to 88 cents, like pre-COVID levels. I don't see it following any lower than these levels here. So I'm not worried about it coming down a little bit more, because I know eventually it's going to come to the upside anyway. That's an easy 100% equity swing for me.